Yeah. We're live and I'm getting instruction from the producer.
No, it's fine.
Hello.
It's you have to give people some time to come in and join. You always speak the most interesting stuff.
The most interesting bit. Anyway, it's episode 168.
Are you ready for?
Yeah, we're ready. It's episode 168. It's the 21st of, I was going to say March. It's not. It's February. It's been less than 72 hours since we last did Chocy Chat. That's what it feels like, doesn't it? That's 3 days in human terms.
I just wanted to say it's not fair to some other people that they join after 5 or 10 minutes. That you said the most interesting stuff at the start.
Okay.
Give them some time.
I'm getting told off. Everybody, save me. Chocy Chat crew. This is so sassy. To give me some valuable instruction on how to do lives. So, hello guys. You saw me pull the face then. Brilliant. Hello, Chocy Chat. It's episode 168. It's 21st February. We don't know where January and February have gone. But hello. How's everybody doing? God, it's been a busy week. We're exhausted. We are exhausted. Actually, I don't know where. So I was hoping to be able to say that the website was live, but we had a kind of little minor technical hitch with one of the developers a bit unwell, so he's kind of had to go off for a couple of days. So we're waiting. It's nearly ready. We're this close, kind of 99%. It's got some testing to do. And then once we're ready with the website, because it's very, very clever and it's very, very different to what we've done before. Very, very different. Much better information. But you'll all see when we get there. So you just have to wait a couple more days, I think, until somebody is feeling better, because that's the joy of technology, isn't it? Right? You're always waiting on somebody else. I'm going to say some hellos. Well, there's loads scrolled by. Sorry about the start. I was getting some instruction about not talking too fast, not gone straight in talking too fast. Billy there, Scottish Chocolates. If anybody saw Billy's post today with I think they were the pink bonbons with the baby feet on it. Billy produces some incredible chocolate. We all know that. But he doesn't sell them. He does them for friends and neighbours and family. I think mostly children eat it. I think Billy eats them himself, just to lose the guilt. He says that he gives them away. He doesn't. He eats all of them. So he said it's the first and last order that he's ever going to do, and he appreciates how much work goes into people that do chocolateering, who make collections, who do all those bits and pieces. I've got to say, they're absolutely fabulous. I think he did them with stencils and stickers. Absolutely, truly amazing, Billy. And I'm glad that's put you off, because it will leave some work for the rest of us. True story. Who else have got? Mo the Baker, how are you? Mo, it's raining cats and dogs outside. I'm pretty sure it's the same in Ireland right now. Purely complimentary. Hello, that's a new name. Nettie's there. Nettie sent me some posts today. Beautiful colours. You've got a really lovely eye for painting. Some people really get it, some not so much, and they have to work really hard on it. I think Nettie's probably just got a very natural touch with a paintbrush, because those the stuff that I reposted them today, absolutely stunning, really stunning. And it's odd because I look at those. I saw the post that she did before she tagged me in it, and it's like, oh, they're really beautiful colours. And when I find out they were mine, it's still very surreal when you see posts of other people's work and you think, well, I made those colours and I know who ordered those and I know when they got posted and I know when they received them, and it's this is a beautiful thing about the job, right? I kind of get like not giddy. It's still a surreal feeling for me, that, especially when I see my colours in the bottles and it's still kind of, I never quite twig and go, that's something that I make. So it's very good. Linda down Jordan, hello. Christina. Christina's up in Edinburgh at the W Hotel, very talented pastry chef. The Handmade Ice Cream Company, they had a little order this week. They're going to make some things, I think. Who else got? Twisted Tulip, hello. Isle Bakes, I think, is just over the road from me on another island. So greetings from sunny Florida. That's Leanne. Leanne, we'll try and schedule something this week so we can get your airbrush going. We'll do Chocodilic there in Jersey. I had a lovely meeting with Evelyn this week, actually. Really nice, very productive. Went on a little bit longer than it did, but I don't put, when I do classes, I don't really put a timer on. I think anybody that's done classes with me knows that. I'm certainly not looking at the clock. Like, I think the class finishes when we've got all the information, the questions answered, because that's kind of how I do business, and that's absolutely cool. Melissa's there. I can see Melissa. Melissa's posting some really, really nice stuff this week. Chocolate Spicy. Hello, James and Rania. Mrs. So Sassy's in the background there. Look, do you know, she's been a busy girl this week, Rania, with the website, which I'm going to say that I don't get involved in. I am involved. It would be naive to say I don't have some input. What I mean is there's all this technical stuff with payment providers and all this stuff going on in the background. I don't think there's been a night this week where Rania hasn't been up till 3, 4, 5 o'clock in the morning, just on her laptops, right? Because she's got a few, because we've got different systems running. The traceability system is in one computer, and then she's got a couple of other laptops she does other stuff on. And yeah, she's had, I think I sometimes think my job's hard, and the amount that I've got to do, the workload. And then Rania sat up till 3, 4, 5 o'clock in the morning getting all this stuff done, so that when we get to the daytime we need to speak to engineers or people or developers or what have you, or payment providers and agents of this and that and all the rest of it. So that's all done in the background, so that we can then have those meetings in the day, and I often forget that. So I think publicly I kind of wanted to say thank you to Rania, because she's part of Chocy Chat crew as well, right? And nobody ever does it on their own. I had a chat with a very interesting character this week, who will remain nameless for now. But same conversations, you know, nobody ever does it alone. Just there's always somebody, you know, even if somebody brings you a cup of tea, they're helping. If somebody puts boxes together, they're helping. And you should always take that help when they offer it. They might not necessarily be able to make chocolates or do fillings or do those other bits, but if they help you with some of the other areas, it's always a good thing, right? That's what support is. Not doing the job for you, it's doing the things so that you can continue working, right? So lots of hellos. Alice, I can see. Ruth joined us. Hi, Ruth. Who else? We got Paula's Edge, Fusion Chocolates, Tempered Chocolates. Gosh, loads of people joined, isn't it? I'm behind. Billy's saying he has to go to the gym every day to balance his chocolate consumption. No, you don't. I've seen you on camera, Billy. That's not true. David Lilly, God, you know, very favourite, very. He's the exec chef of the W Hotel in Edinburgh. Absolutely beautiful place, really beautiful place. I do need to get up to Scotland. Tasty Buns Bakery, who I just reposted. She had some chocolate. She's on Bread Street in Edinburgh. Really beautiful shop. That's just a traditional bakery, right? She was like our very first time we did bonbons. She was our first customer, my first customer, and has continued to buy every time a collection comes out, right? So we sent her a couple of extra boxes, which she gave away. Brilliant. Savoury Eats in Tucson. I am good, thank you. It's lashing down, yeah. Savoury Eats, love my new colours and what you taught me. Oh, you are welcome. Been having challenges with painting today, too vivid and mist everywhere, even though I'm testing the pressure doing Easter eggs. I've got a mould here. I was going to talk about Easter eggs actually before that comes up. I tell you what is, for UK based, I want to say UK based, next thing for others is Mother's Day, which is the 30th of March. So that's the next event that's coming up. And then we've got Easter literally 20 days later on the Sunday the 20th of April. I don't know if that's it for us then, because you know you still got another couple of months of chocolate and doing collections and then finding your customers, and it's markets and stalls, and you've got to go and find your customers and keep posting, keep hashtagging, keep telling the world that you're making chocolate. Stories only last 24 hours, so if you post to a story, assume it's gone. After 24 hours it's gone, and unless you put it in highlights it will never ever be seen again. Keep posting. Different angles, just keep going, keep posting. And if you're posting stories, make sure you do hashtag, right? Because it will travel a little bit further and end up with somebody else, right? Generally, stories only end up in about 10% of your followers, right? Who else have we got? I'm going to talk about Easter eggs in a minute. Alex Eats, hello. Oh, Evelyn, you're welcome. Dolce Mara, how are you? Chocolate's been by Neander. I am really good. So David's there, I can see him. So he's got questions. Emma, Yes, chocolate. She's just outside Sydney. Fatima, I can see. We'll run here get some week. We'll run here get some rest this weekend. Probably not. It's a busy girl. We're both busy. We're not kind of sit on our backsides and do nothing. We're always busy doing something. We're always busy doing something, and we homeschool the girls as well, right? So we've got all that going on, and they're busy with different classes and all the stuff that they do as well. So we are not ones to sit around all day waiting for things to happen. It just doesn't. I kind of like seeing the sunrise as well. That's my thing. I kind of like if I can be up way before 7, I'll start my day. I like that. Definitely like that. I was in here and working at 7:15 this morning. No chocolate for me this week. Paula's saying, very proud mummy, thought watching my 10-year-old daughter dancing at Disneyland in Paris. Wow, I saw the post earlier, Paula. Actually amazing, right? Brilliant. Really, really good. Really, really good. Delights by Maria. I can see, hello. I assume there must be Insta issues. Can't see any comments. Tried logging off and on several times. Gremlins at my end. No, all the comments are here. Ruth's asking, are the types differentiated by ingredients or the final look? Both, because type A's are fat soluble and they are translucent, so that if you, for instance, Rari Red, let's get Rari Red. I'll show you the difference in them. Let's get a Rari Red. We'll do a red tech and we'll do a lipstick red. And we'll do a red bricks. If you do all the reds, we'll do a sparkly Rari. Is that all the reds? And red galaxy. There we go. We've got 6 types of reds there. We got 6 types of reds. Now there can be a combination of both, all letters, right? So if I took something like red galaxy says type A and type C, so it's a fat soluble colour. So there's no iron oxide or titanium in it, right? So iron oxides will be the black, the white, obviously, which is titanium based. Calcium carbonate based. Type B's will give full opacity, so it might have a type A fat soluble colour in it, then it becomes type B if it's got titanium in it, therefore you wouldn't need to back it, okay? Red galaxies are type A and C, so it's fat soluble, translucent colour, but type C is all the pearly chrome, so all the sparkly bits, okay? They will give you between 60 and 75% opacity. So it's not like backing it with white, but if I sprayed Rari Red, which is just type A, okay, if I backed that with dark chocolate, the red would be very, very, very dark, okay? If I sprayed it's the same red colour but with a silver pearly chrome in it, which is the red galaxy, I don't need to back that. I can just shell. I can shell with milk, white and dark, and it'll come out as a deep red colour but with the sparkle, right? If I wanted bright red, I would spray the Rari Red and then back it with calcium carbonate, so the TI3, back it with the white or shell it with white chocolate. That'll give me bright red. Red bricks is different. That is an iron oxide, so you can spray that. You can spray red bricks. It's a red iron oxide. You can spray that in the mould and shell with or whatever you want. No colour will come through that. So, and then you've got things like the sparkly Rari, which is kind of the gold version of the red galaxy. So that's got gold in it, that's got silver in it, but they start off life like this, as just the red tech. Red tech's another one. Red tech is just type C. So type C's are Fool's Gold, Bronze Adonis, Copper King, So Sassy Silver, Red Tech, there is another one, can't remember off the top of my head right now. You can spray those and you don't need to back them. You just do not need to back them. I think those tiny little flakes of silicate mica, they are so close to each other that it kind of blocks any light. But like I said, it will give you 50 to 75% opacity, so it means that you don't need to back it. So to answer the question, Ruth, they are it's deciding what it is that you want to do. If I wanted to spray ripples with the airbrush, with an airbrush, if I use lipstick red, which has got type B titanium in it, if I try and do ripples, it's not great. It doesn't work very well. with the exception of black, type Bs do not spray ripples very well because there's no gaps to let any other colours go through. If I sprayed Rari Red, which is a type A, if I sprayed that and I did the ripples, we'll leave little gaps in it because it gives you it's translucent, semi-translucent, right? So because you've got those gaps, what you can then do is put another colour behind it and it will show through, which is where the ripples come from. Equally, like Red Tech, you can spray ripples, and you'll be able to put something behind it. But like, you know, if you try to spray ripples with lipstick red or red bricks, nothing. You get nothing. I think there is an exception to the white. If I can find one, as Carmelita is there. If I get Carmelita as a type B, but you can use that to back with because it's titanium free. It's just a nice yellow caramel colour. If you sprayed Rari Red, I've done this. There's a post on my page for this. If you can't back with white, sometimes we use white to really bring out a vivid, bright colour. But also you spray with white so that you don't darken down that colour. Right, and that's so we can either brighten it or we can stop any dark colour coming through. If you sprayed Rari Red and then you backed with Carmelita, which is an iron oxide, yellow iron oxide, you'll get the same opacity, you'll get the same light blocking as you would if you sprayed with white titanium, right? So backing it with white will give you a brighter colour, and obviously because of it, it won't let any chocolate colour come through. But if you're not allowed to use that, you can use other colours, because what you're trying to do is not darken that red. What you're trying to do is not necessarily brighten it. You're not letting anything behind it make it get even darker, right? So they are ingredient led. To answer your question, they are ingredient led, and it is also final look, right? So but there's more on the website, and then the new website's got even more explanation on it. So you could have a combination of two. It might have a fat soluble colour in it and a little bit titanium and some sparkle. If I looked at something like Aqua Shimmer, no, Aqua Shimmer's up there, can't reach it. Aqua Shimmer's up there. Aqua Shimmer is type A, B and C. Because it's got the type B in there, there's going to be full opacity. You need just shell behind it. It's very Mighty Mint's another one. That's a type A, B, C, right? So that's a type A, B, C. So because there's a little bit of sparkle in there, give you a little bit of opacity, but it's got titanium in, and it will give you full opacity as well. So I hope that answers that. It's odd that it could be one of all three combinations, and I think it's type A is translucent, type B has got opacity. So we could also, you know, deep space is type. The reason we leave all the letters on it actually is things like deep space is type B and C, so there's no A in there. So the type B and C's are generally, all the type B's are non-azo, all right? So, which is another category. So it's either azo, so synthetic or not synthetic, or natural, right? So we've got all those to consider as well. So Forest Road Chocolate saying happy Friday, Chocky Chat friends. It's good. I've got something to show you. Edesky Patisserie, they're based in Hood River in Oregon, and they sent me these because they're travelling in the UK. They will be here shortly, but I got sent these this week, and I can't. The camera will not pick up the shine that's on these right now. It won't pick up the shine that's on these. These have travelled a long, long way. What's lovely is there's all the bits that went in it, but I'm going to read out what was on there because these are. You can't read it there, but it says Edesky Patisserie, the sweet spot on the gorge, established 2022, handcrafted in Hood River, Oregon. Tamara and James are students many years ago, and they were struggling. They were in a shared kitchen, massive humidity, airbrushing problems, tempering problems, the whole thing. Did a class, sorted out those issues. It got a little bit better. And then suddenly they popped up and was like, we've got a patisserie now. It's proper bricks and mortar, walls, glass windows, the whole lot. And they've just gone from strength to strength to strength to strength to strength. They're travelling in the UK. But she said, dear James, Dear James, even though we kind of got sucked into the everyday grind, we have not forgotten about you and all the members of Chocy Chat crew. This one is for the Bonbon Police. Many thanks, Tamara and James. So I'm going to eat this on behalf of everybody in Chocy Chat. I know it's a tough job. Somebody's got to do it. The stuff that came with it is absolutely gloriously beautiful. Even the little menu cards, right? And I can tell you right now, they use lots and lots of fruits locally. Tamara's from Hungary, but studying in Tamara's from Hungary, but she studied in the Netherlands, and she met James while they were traveling around the world. James is British, and kind of, yeah, they've set up their thing and off on their journey, right? But it's lovely. You know, Rania said to me, "You must be really, really proud." And it's like, I don't really ever think of it like that. I didn't do any work. I just kind of got onto a class which they paid for and steered them in the right direction. I often do sit down and think about all the people that have gone off and done the chocolates and started at home and moved into bigger and got bigger and bigger and bigger. And suddenly they're off on their journey, right? And I played a tiny little part in that. A lot of them are in Chocy Chat crew, but they're always learning. The good people are always learning, right? The best of the best of the best are always learning, always topping up that knowledge. I'm going to enjoy those on behalf of Chocy Chat crew. Always good, right? How you doing, Luke? Let me scroll through. Vant said hello. Vant said hello. David Lilly, there's an order pending. If you get Benji did an order, but I don't know if you've had the quote, so you just need to authorise a quote. But I'll ping you an email, David. I'll ping you a message afterwards, right? So with the silver, to get a nice sparkly finish, if you're using milk or dark chocolate, I don't need to back or sponge luster on after that. You can do a bit of both. Silver hasn't got any titanium in it, so it will give you, if you shell with white, it'll be absolutely sparkly. If you shell with dark, it will be just slightly darkened. What you can do is just dab some silver in behind it. If you do spray, Paula, just give it a light, don't give it a solid spray of white. I think the best thing though is just to do one row and have a look, and you'll be able to decide, right? Different chocolates, different depth of colour within those chocolates. So yeah, it depends. There's orders getting placed here. David at the W Hotel is kind of like, oh god, I wish I hadn't tuned in now. It's costing him. Brilliant. We're here. We have lots of colours. I have been topping up madly this week. This shelf is back to being full. This one is kind of nearly full. Still got my trophy, pride of place. We're topping up full. There's bits of cocoa butter all over here because I don't make the colours in here, but I do these in here. Cocoa, the bars. So I'll be getting all the bars done today and vac packing them, and just kind of getting a big stock before we get to kind of Mother's Day and Easter, right? You need to set up an auto order so new colours can be shipped automatically. We looked at fulfillment, and I don't want to do fulfillment with the colours because I like staying in touch with my customers, and I like putting samples in, and I like putting notes in, and I like doing that kind of stuff. If I send it to fulfillment, so auto orders, if I sent my stuff to fulfillment, they would take 12%, and then there's a stocking fee for me to put their product on their shelves so they look after it. That's an additional fee. So whilst I could say, well, the orders go out and I don't have to get involved in it, you're kind of giving away about 30% of your business. Never a route, unless you're drop shipping and you don't, if you buy something for £1 and sell it for 35, it's not an area I want to go into. I think the other thing that happens with, that giant store that's named after a river, what happens is, if you do fulfillment and it goes on to, you get contracted, so you'll get to a point where they can have a bargain basement sale, and all your stuff goes out and you get nothing for it, right? And then when you try to pull things off their shelf, that comes with a kind of a fine or a fee as well, which is thousands, right, per item. So no, we're going to continue doing what we're doing. It's all good. It is all good. I'm from Nigeria. Do you provide courses? Yeah, we do chocolate courses. Go and have a look at the website. The link to our page is at the top of my profile, although that's going to change over to a very slightly different email address, website address shortly. James, you are an oracle on chocolate. Oh, I don't know about that. I know a bit. I don't know everything. Every day's a learning day, right? I was having a chat with somebody this week. Wasn't so much about it, chocolatier. Wasn't so much about chocolate. We were talking about family and friends and all the rest of it. But like, you know, at no point will I ever claim that I know everything. I know a lot. I know more than most, and I talk to a lot of businesses. I talk to a lot of chocolatiers. I'm well aware of the problems that people have in production and that kind of thing. So, Oracle, I don't know. I'm just trying to help you guys get better. That was the aim of Chocky Chat. Is just to help you guys and me. I learn as well, right, from Chocky Chat. Just helping you guys get better so people can run their businesses and make some money and make that leap, hopefully, from being employed to being their own boss, because that's the jump, right? That's the jump that you want to do, because yes, it's scary, and yes, it comes with some risk, and it takes a lot of work. But why would you work for somebody else and make them rich? I did this for years as a chef, right? I worked award-winning kitchens, Michelin stars, rosettes. Somebody else got rich, but I was doing the 90-hour week, right? Until Mrs. So Sassy said, "You're not doing that anymore. You can do your own thing. You've got to stop making other people rich. Stop it and do your own thing." And we never look back. And there's tough days. There's tough days, there's tough weeks, there's tough months, there's hard decisions, and as you get bigger and bigger and bigger, those decisions that you make have a bigger and bigger impact, and there's a lot more money at stake. So, you know, the risk doesn't go away, but I think what happens when you're running your own business, you're allowed to make decisions. I've talked about something before, and it was pulling the trigger. People seem to be afraid to pull the trigger because they're like, the whole schooling education system is, what if it doesn't go well? What if it doesn't work? What if you fail? What will everybody think? Well, if you didn't worry what anybody thought about you and you weren't allowed to pull the trigger, what's the actual risk, right? You're going to start your own business and you're going to work really hard, and you can work longer hours than you did for somebody else. However, eventually it will work, because two things happen in business. You either give up and you'll regret it, or you keep going and eventually it works, right? And you have to change and make decisions, and you know, businesses morph into other things, right? So keep going. Don't be afraid to pull that trigger. Don't ever. Hello in Germany, Gates. Any plans for new pink colours, TI3? Not tied. No, there's no new colours coming out shortly. There's a blue. Once got all the testing back from the blue, but not any pinks. No, not at all. Is titanium free, just a personal choice, or are there groups of people that can't have it? Yeah, so that people in the EU can't have, they can't use titanium for use in food that's for sale, okay? If you're doing sculptures and you're doing work and it's ads and it's, you know, yes, of course you can use it because it's not being sold for. And then there are a few countries that don't allow titanium, but there's not many. I can only think of 5, including the EU. But there are countries within the EU that allow it anyway, so it's a very kind of limited, awkward situation. It's a personal choice, right? Depends where you read. I did answer something on the Chocky Chat page about titanium. And whilst there is a report that talks about nanoparticles and all the rest of it, another report from another government said we can't find any evidence at all with that. So, you know, as I commented on there, you know, these decisions are made, and they're made quite flippantly. Like the desire and want to ban titanium came in incredibly quickly. They banned knives and things. They didn't ban alcohol or smoking, but they banned that product, right? So it came in incredibly quick. We literally got 4 months warning. That was it, and then a grace period of another 4 months. So who knows? James, any new colours launching this year? Yeah, a neon blue. So a neon blue, which I showed recently, but they're the only ones that I'm doing. There isn't anything else in the mix right now, unless people have got suggestions. I mean, it's not, it's not finite. I think it's really whether it will sell or not. We have launched colours and taken them off because they just don't shift, and it's pointless having something on a shelf for 4 or 5 months if it's not moving. Why would I, right? So I've got to keep up with what customers want to do, and certain colours having said that, there are red bricks, right? That's probably the slowest seller, but oddly, you get times like just before Christmas, that hadn't moved for like 2 months, 3 months, and then it all went in the space of 2 or 3 days, and I have no idea why. Like all of it, like 60 colours went in the space of 2 days. So I don't know what that's about. I don't know, but not planning on anything. Unless anybody's got suggestions. Am I going to have a section on the website that lists the new colours? Not the new colours. You will be able. So the way that you'll be able to search on the website is very unique, because you'll be able to search by the type. You'll be able to search by ASO or non-ASO. You'll be able to search with the colours, so the blues, the greens, the yellows, the pinks, the purples. You'll be able to or polychromes. You'll be able to search titanium free or titanium. You'll be able to. It's just the search parameters are. We've done a huge amount of work on that, so that you can keep clicking those icons, but then they refresh, as opposed to a lot of pages where it just kind of remains there. You'll see when it launches. You can all go and have a look and have a play, and be gentle with the feedback, because I know the whole world is an expert when it comes to IT, but the amount of work that this has taken is months and months and months and months of getting it right, and getting the regulations and the legal elements of it right as well, and then getting it done in the languages so it's translatable, and just, it's an absolute ton of work, right? It's many steps above what Squarespace could do for us. So Emma saying, I can't tell you how many times I've reached out to Chocy chat crew. I'm always learning from you guys. That was the whole idea. That was the idea, right? For everybody to learn from each other. I prefer competition. I prefer community over competition, and I've always said that. I think that we will always get better together. Always. Mo saying, considering so many life-saving medicines contain titanium. I know, it's strange, right? So they banned titanium in food, but it's still in medicines and food supplements, and also toothpaste. Who'd have thought, right? So you can't make chocolate with it, but you can brush your teeth with it. Crazy. Been working out costs to start selling. I'm doing keto ones. And the choc is working out at £2.90 per 100 grams, and the sweetener is £1.78 for 100 grams. Cocoa butter for it's quite scary working it out. Yeah, it is. And you need to find your audience, and you need to find your customers, and you don't always need to justify what it is that you sell it for. But the money is made in controlling your stock, so not wasting, not over producing. That's where the money is, right? Emily's asking a question about cocoa butter in bulk to make chocolate that is grade A quality. You'd have to look where you are. I would have thought, Emily and Ariana, where you are, you're in Puerto Rico. I reckon there'll be somebody that makes it. They suggested that they had nearly 6,000 tons export from Puerto Rico, because I was reading all the financials today. Oddly enough, like Holland and Belgium are one of the biggest exporters, but no cocoa butter grows there. Odd that, isn't it? I would have had a look. I'd have a look locally. There'll be somebody, there'll be somebody in Puerto Rico that is producing cocoa butter. Does anybody know if Micro has been officially discontinued? I emailed Calibert and I'm waiting for a response. We'll post an answer when I get back. I can't find an honest answer to this, because as far as my American friends are concerned, it's been discontinued. but then I heard somebody else mention that it's going to go back into production, so I don't know the answer. Good luck on getting an email back from Calibert. They don't answer. Michelle's saying it's back in production. All right, happy days. Then it's back in production. I'm sure it'll be at a very different price. In the meantime, we still are doing the silk blocks, which I said I said that we would continue to produce these. We'll continue to do these until either Micro is back and fully stocked. So you know, who knows, right? You just don't know whether it's just going to be a short run and then it's out of stock again, and that gives them the power to keep putting the price up and up and up, right? Which is what they do, right? So sorry, a repeat question. I missed you said where to order the mold grips. Mr. Zardos, I put. Oh, that's not a long mold. I had to go through every single mould this week and put new ones in, and I couldn't find them. And it's like I said to the girls, "Anybody seen the bag of blue grips anywhere?" Because they were on my desk in my office. And Rania came through and went, "Do you mean these green ones?" And I'm like, "I don't know what colour they are." What colour are those? Apparently they're green. I thought they were blue. But they're from Mr. Zardos. If you have a look at the highlights on my page, you will find the post that talks about the grips, and then the link to his page where you can order them. So, and they come in bags in here. Where are they? That's look for Mr. Z on Instagram, but he does them. But he sends me them in bags like this. So they're good. They're good. These grips are these grips are an absolute game changer for me. I was blessed with both types of arthritis, so I've got rheumatoid arthritis and psoriatic arthritis. So once we get into 2-3 molds, my hands are falling apart. Right, these have saved, like, I can hold on to molds all day long without the risk of dropping them, and it makes it a lot easier. And I think because I have to claw over the top of it, it doesn't strain my wrist as much by having my fingers straight. So Mr. Zardos, he does those grips. Absolute game changer. Absolute game changer. Cocoa butter is volatile at the moment with other brands, so wise to keep making your blocks. Yeah, I know, Michelle. I know all about cocoa butter prices. I know all about cocoa butter prices. It is something that we analyse day to day, right? Looking for that moment to purchase, right? So I won't go through the volumes that we buy, but it's mind-blowing. But that's the business we're in, right? That's what we chose to do, and that's the result it went. And I wouldn't look back. Let me get that one out of the way. And I wouldn't look back. But there's lots of silk blocks in place, and that's enough to make those little blocks. They're only £6.50 each, and it's enough. If you're a home producer or a small producer, it's easy enough to grate into a bowl. What I would say to do though is put a sheet of greaseproof paper down, grate onto that, and then measure it out. Because if you put it over the bowl and try and grate, you get static, and it goes like, you'll come out, you look like all your eyebrows and eyelashes have been frosted over. Grate it onto, don't grate it onto one of these because it will go, it'll just fly off everywhere. Just get a nice piece of paper, grate it onto that, and then slide it in and measure it that way, right? You're colourblind, I'm assuming. No, I'm CP4. I'm one step away from grey. So yeah, CP4. It's colour perception 4. So it's reds and greens, reds and browns, pink and yellow, and then green, some greens and some blues, depending on the hue. So. James, you know where we stand with the law on moulds? I'm probably going to say the wrong thing, but BPA free. Not something I've researched actually. We're using polycarbonate, which is BPA free anyway, right? So the challenge will be when it comes to the recycled plastics and the BPA in that, if I'm not right. not something I've looked into. I know I got an email this week from a company in Sweden that just went on and on and on about BPA. It was a delete. I'm not interested, because I just think that every time a scientist, I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but every time a fucking scientist comes out with a, you can't have this, it's bad for you, and the next week you can have this, it's good for you, and you can't eat this, it's bad for you, and you can't eat eggs because it's bad for you, and now it's like you can eat eggs, suddenly they not eggs in America you can't, there's none, but every week it's contracting and nobody really knows what to believe now, and it's like we can't have this, we can have this, we can't have this, we can't have this, and it's kind of just fueled, you know, it's like this net zero thing, right? We banging on about net zero, and then we send bombs and bullets, which are the most toxic chemicals on this planet, and they get thrown everywhere, and it's not, you know, makes no sense at all. Makes no sense at all. Makes no sense at all. Paula's saying still needs to put the grips on my mold. Paula, do it. Just line them all up. Get yourself some super glue. I think we did 160 molds all in one go, and I chipped off the old one. Just give them a heat up with a hairdryer. Chipped off the and just went all new and put in, what colour are those? These are green ones, aren't they? So I just put all the new ones in, and I only do them one side. I don't really need to. It's just me. They go further, right? But we did all the molds. Bloody game changer. I mean, just. If you're doing 1 or 2 molds, not really the end of the world, but like if you're doing 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 molds, and you've got a tiniest little bit of chocolate on your fingers, that mold is taking a dive, right? And there is nothing worse than dropping the mold in the chocolate. I know we've all done it. I'm sure we've all sentence enhanced afterwards. I didn't sentence enhance, I like full on swearing. I think it's just a suitable little. Once you've got chocolate on your finger, that's the worst mould in the world to hold on to. There's literally like 2 mil, right? And that one goes in the drink every single time. And I'm going to put some moulds in that, grips in that. The only problem is it would stand too high up, but I don't really care. Each time I have students, I end up dropping that, and I look a right buffoon. So that's going to get grips put in it. But yeah, Mr. Zardos, he's in the UK at the minute. He's in the UK at the minute, and he'd be flying home. So yeah, get your orders in. He ships them all over the world, and they, you know, he turns them around really, really quick, right? And he'll do them. If you let him know what molds you've got, he'll send you the ones that are correct for the molds that you've got, right? Yeah, Mo. Yeah, red green. I did a post the other week with my glasses, right? This is the best gift I've ever been given. Because I can even see all the colours behind me, Matt, even the ones up there. I put these on, I was watching the cars go by, and it's like red, yellow, red car, green car, blue car. Man, this is amazing. This is what you guys get to see. It's dealt with my whole life, not a problem. Nettie's saying it's so easy to use the silk blocks. Yeah, they are easy. The bigger the amount of chocolate, so we say 1%, right? So if I had 500 grams of chocolate, I would do 5 grams. But actually, do you know what? If I had 1.5 kilos, I wouldn't do 15 grams of that. I just do 10, because the bigger the amount of chocolate you need less silk to go into it, right? Because the warmth that folds it in, and then you've got to stir it more, right? Which produces more beta crystals. So I say that block will do 8 kilos. However, 8 grams, 8 kilos. I think it'll do 12 to 15. We certainly did some tests when we were in Bahrain, and I did a 4 kilo mix, and we didn't put in the 40 grams. We put in the 20, and it tempered absolutely perfectly, right? So. Leanne saying, I don't understand the fuss about titanium. I've had 2 spinal fusions made out of titanium, and I'm still here. Different titanium. I don't know. I don't know the rules on that, Michelle. Honestly, we sell a product that's made from plastic, and I have to confirm what is recycled. I have to, we've had to change the caps because they've got to be recycled, and now the caps chip, and it's just silly little politician somewhere that's thrown some rules in to justify that. There's somebody sat in an office somewhere, they've been asked a question, and they've come up with this ridiculous rally of new stuff that we've got to do so they can justify their job. I don't know where we stand on BPA, not something I've looked into. I probably will do now, but I don't know where we stand on I don't know where we stand on the moulds that we already have, because I'll be surprised if anybody's got moulds that are more than 5 years old, whether they could quantify when they were made and what the production run of those moulds was, right? And then also, somebody really going to come and knock on your door and say, I'd like to have a look at the moulds and check if they're BPA. Yeah, take all my moulds away. Unlikely. Yeah, Mo, you can't have butter, it's bad for you. And now they're like, no, have butter. Every time I use cocoa butter, I spill something. It's getting less each time. Today was only about 10 grams. Slow down. Slow down, Evelyn. Slow down. Is that a Thermomix behind me? Yeah, it is. One of the black ones. We have a few. I had a class with somebody that uses, has a Thermomix, but doesn't have a melter. So I said we can temper in that. So we can set it quite accurately to 45 and get the chocolate to come up to 45. Then we can turn the heat off completely and then add the seed to it and get to spin on speed 3 while it's liquid, and then we can get the chocolate into a tempered state and tip it into bowls and shell, right? And it will also, it's accurate enough to hold it. So it's good, but it'll only do 2 kilos, right? So it'll only hold 2 kilos, but it is, yeah. It's one of the black ones. Limited edition. I nearly lost my Disky Patisserie sticker. Don't want to lose that. I like stickers. Yeah, I like Thermomix. Mrs. So Sassy's got Thermomix. She uses it a lot. I'm not allowed to use that one. I do, but I'm not allowed to. Yeah, we don't, as Miss Franny is saying there, we don't have margarine. We don't. Not sure what I'm doing wrong. I tempered the cocoa butter down to 26, back up to 29. My chocolate's tempered using silk. It always has a good snap, yet always have to put them in the fridge to retract. Oh. You're tempering the chocolate with silk. Are you adding the silk at 34 and then as soon as it reaches 32 you can shell? It could be. What are you doing with the mold? So Laura, answer me this. Tempered the chocolate, tempered it with silk, fire and forget. It's probably not the tempering of the chocolate. I suspect it's probably like the cooling stage. So you put the chocolate in, tap the chocolate out, then what happens? You scrape it. What do? Do you leave that upside down? Do you leave it on its side? How long do you leave this out? And is it out overnight, wait to crystallize? Or and I do this, I did this for the ones that I did all the cricket balls. I had thousands of cricket balls to do this week, which I kind of did in a 24-hour space, right? We sprayed in the morning, I'd shelled them about 1 o'clock. By 5 o'clock we were filling in them. I capped them at 9 o'clock at night, collected the next morning, gone. Fill it with the chocolate, tap it out, we scrape it, we leave it upside down until it's gone dull, turn it on its side so all the warm air can come out, okay? When that's sufficiently cool, like 7, 8, 9 minutes, as soon as that's, I put them in the fridge, stood upright, and the fridge is about 8 degrees, 7, 8 degrees, and that cold will just shock it and they'll all retract. If you're leaving it out overnight, hoping it's going to retract, it might just be that your room is not quite cool enough. If your room doesn't dip below kind of 14 degrees, it's unlikely that it will retract on its own. It will just need a little bit more of shock cold. Right? Can do it in a room that's got air conditioning at 18 degrees, and you will find that if your AC is set at 18, the nearer you are to the fan, the better they retract. The further away you are, the less it does, right? So eventually they will, right? I worked with a guy in Italy, and the titanium rule is not allowed to use it, but they still have some on stock. Before the law came in, they can still use it. So when he came over, he took some back. we sell lots of both, right? And I've seen the sales of titanium free, the not quite white rise, but then equally we sell titanium. If people want to buy it, they buy it. It's not for me to question what they're using it for. It could be sculptures, it could be photograph shows, it could be, you know, Emery Guichon does these giant statues like reaching the sky, and they'll spray it with white. I don't know what somebody's using it for, so I think everybody gets their knickers in a little bit of a twist over it. Some countries allow it, some don't, and you need to follow the letter of that country. It's a tough one. I think, you know, it's a tough one. If that's the law in your country, you need to follow the letter of that law. I think, you know, I'd be stupid to say it's going to be okay. No, it's not. You follow the letter of the law of that country. It doesn't stop you buying it, doesn't stop you using it. You just can't use it in products for sale, for food that's for sale, right? Mo, I want the Thermomix, but I can't justify the price. Yeah. Yeah. So, Laura, have you... Okay, leave it on its side and leave it for at least 12 hours. Okay, so that could be the... I think, Laura, your challenge is your room temperature. If you shell it, leave it on its side 7 or 8 minutes. So once that chocolate's gone dull, turn it on its side, leave it at room temperature for about 10 minutes, okay? And then if you pop that into the fridge on its side, yeah, don't put it facing down because it'll drop out. Don't do it facing up because you'll get condensation all land in that. Put it carefully on its side and you'll see that everything will retract. As soon as you see, put it in the fridge. It could be 2, 3, 4 minutes, right? No more. Don't put it in the fridge and walk away for a day. Just put it in the fridge for 2, 3, 4 minutes. If the majority of them have retracted, take it out, leave it on the table like that, okay? And you'll find that the rest of them will. Chocolate. What causes the chocolate to retract? We'll call it shrink, right? So Chocky Chat Crew, we call it shrinking. We're not going to put poncy words on it. If we want the chocolate to shrink, which is why it comes out of the mould, we need to shock it with a little bit of chocolate, with a little bit of cold. And when we shock chocolate that's tempered, because it's got beta crystals in it, long filaments of beta crystals in it, when that goes past, when it drops below 14 degrees, what it does is it shrinks very, very quickly, and that's why your shells come out of the mould. Straightforward, really, really straightforward. So there is tempering, and then there is shelling. And shelling at the right temperature, we've got colour in there, but then also we've got this control of the temperature of it as it cools down. And what we want it to do, this is why the graph on the side of the bag is just absolute rubbish, right? It doesn't tell you time, it just got a graph going one way. Well, we want the graph of cooling going the other way, right? So what happens when it drops below 14 degrees? Well, it shrinks, and then what? And then over the next 72 hours, 4 days, 5 days, 6 days, other crystals form which make it much, much more brittle, right? God, Jason's asking, what's the opinion on the best shipper in the US? UPS, FedEx, stay away from USPS. Have been experimenting with shipping. Anybody got any tips for Jason? I deal with United States Parcel Service a lot. There's a couple of states where it's miserably bad, and then the others are absolutely exceptional. So I think the only challenge I have with USPS is that they don't answer emails or phone calls. So you have to ring like 50 times to get an answer, which we had a missing parcel this week, and they were saying, oh, we can't find it, we don't know where it is. And the very next morning, that lady said to me, it's just arrived. Funny that, yesterday the company couldn't find it and today it got delivered. Very odd. Anybody got any advice for Jason there? Sweet driver there? I think he's in Texas, aren't you? You're not allowed in here, you. Right. There you go, Jason. You got some good answers there. Night, Michelle. You're in Alabama on the beach. Why not have you down in Texas? Oh, my apologies. You're in Alabama. How many people from Alabama have we? USPS until our orange man fires all the mailmen. You can see it's coming, right? You can see it's coming. Oh yeah, that was my favourite. So Michelle in Tucson, we sent an order to Michelle. She did a class here and she picked her butters, right? And then she was travelling, I think she was in France and Spain, what have you. And she said, can you mail this to me while I'm, it's like, yeah, do this. So we stood in here, we did the order, put it all in the box. And then I got this message saying it'd been returned to me because the person was deceased. It's like, no, fucking not, because I've just been talking to them. I've just spoken to them. And he's like, no, it's deceased. Wow. Yeah, she's saying send FedEx, USPS. Yeah, apparently you don't get it. They just mark deceased. Wow. Julie Ritchie. Julia's saying, I own a franchise that ships all over the US and it depends on your region. USPS is the best Midwest, but not great in others. Yeah, exactly like I said. Again, Rani has been dealing with this all this week because we're looking at being able to give customers a choice on who would they like to use as a courier. God, that's a complicated train set. I'm glad that I'm not in the. Well, somebody's just bought all the silk blocks. That makes more. We've got a few easy tempers, so we're going to get them all going. I keep looking at it to make sure the light's on, and it is. Worst nightmare in the world is when you accidentally turn the blue light off on your easy temper, and then everything turns to liquid. You're like, right, I'm 2 days behind. What have we got? It's nearly 9:30. I was going to talk to you about these Easter eggs. I might do this one next week, right? Because we answered a few questions tonight. Easter eggs. Fill them. Go with a 2-drop, right? You do not want to. Do not shell with a 4-drop chocolate. It'll be too thin, and it will never. It will retract, but it will be too thin. Go with a 3-drop or a 2-drop. When you come to tip this out, don't turn it upside down, because what you'll end up with is all these little nodules that come out, and you'll end up using more chocolate. What you want to do is just tilt it off to the side and let it run off. Okay. Yes, you will end up with a thicker chocolate. When you come to tap it, leave it on its side like that, and it will even out, right? But if you turn it upside down, it will look like you'll have all these stalactites coming down. And if you're trying to fill them, it looks really, really messy. If you just tip it over to the side, okay, and let it run out on its own, and you can tap it that way, and then tilt it a little bit more and tap it that way, you'll get much smoother inside of the eggs, right? Before I get asked that, because then I can say, go to Chocy Chat on the 21st of February, and I answered it. True story. Right, it is. See, Jason, always come to Chocy Chat. You'll get an honest answer. No BS here, mate. Yeah. Ask the question, you'll get an honest answer from very, very, very nice chocolate people that are dotted all over the world who have experience of shipping in and out and dealing with all these things, including myself. So I'm going to get away. It's 9:30. It's nice to see everybody. One more question. I have a question. I used a glaze for Valentine's to make affordable stuff for kids. Any advice on it? What do you mean a glaze for Valentine's? I don't know. Send me, sweet driver. Send me a private message. Send me a DM on that one. I'll answer that one separately for you. Where's the best place to get your molds from? I use Implast molds. It's 539 is the mold that I use. 539, 553. 539 is my favourite. So that's from Implast. Quite like those. So. Have a great week. I'm going to go and eat Chocy Chat Crew's chocolates because they sent to Chocy Chat Crew, but obviously, you know, they arrived here and I can't share them out because I'd have to cut them all into like 30,000 pieces and that's not going to happen. And Sarah's going to help me taste them, so is Mrs. So Sassy. Have a lovely week. Keep working. Keep doing hashtags. Start thinking about your orders. What do you need? Chocolate, molds, all that kind of stuff, colours. Next one is Mother's Day. The one after that is Easter. It's still money making time, so you need to start, you know, ramping up, right? I'll see you all next week, which is going to be like believe how quickly these come around, but it's still nice to see everybody. Got a couple of guests coming up shortly, so I'm not going to announce anything until nearer the time. So I think you'll be pleasantly surprised who comes on. I'll see you all next week. Take care.